everybody. Welcome to Sound Healing Sundays. Thank you for joining me today, this Sunday. The theme of the week that I've heard a lot from friends, from just, clients, just people generally, is just and people joke when they say it, but they say things like, I'm just doing it for the plot. I'm just, just going with the flow. I'm gonna see what happens, right? And when I hear people say, I'm doing it for the plot, I hear the tone that that there's a possibility of negative consequences. Is that when you say I'm doing it for the plot, it's you're looking for the excitement of it. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think the tone in which people use that when they say I'm doing it for the plot is that it communicates the awareness that maybe this situation isn't the best path for me, but why the hell not, right? And so for me, what that communicates, because I've done that before, and it's not to say that I don't have that little bit of toxicity still living within me, but you have to think about the energy that puts out. We talk a lot about karma. People talk about karmic energy, and they think about the whole what comes around goes around, and it's not in a very reciprocal, immediate gratification kind of situation when it comes to karmic energy. There's also dharma. People don't think about or live by the rules and principles of dharma. And when you think of karma, you think consequences, right? And so think about that. I'm doing it for the plot. I'm going against my better intuition. I'm going against my better judgment. I'm seeing the situation through for the excitement of it, despite what my gut feeling is telling me. Either I don't trust my intuition, I don't trust myself, or maybe there's a lesson that maybe I feel like I still need to learn through this situation. But those are the moments where you look back, where you could have used the foresight of I could have done things differently. And we decide not to because perhaps, like I said, we don't trust ourselves, or we want to live through the excitement of it. So processing that, what kind of energy are you inviting into your own space? Now that's the karma of it. That's what you don't recognize is when I do things for the plot, what karmic energy am I inviting back into my life when I'm intentionally maybe self-sabotaging, or I'm being self-destructive, or, creating a victim stance. A lot of the times when people say, I'm doing it for the plot, and then want to be the victim of the situation, when it's it's different than circumstantial victimization where you had no choice. And so how many times will you put yourself through the cyclical pattern of doing it for the plot, where you're the victim, where you don't learn the lessons? And so today I want our journal entry to be about, what are you doing for the plot? Be realistic with yourself. What are you ignoring with your intuition, with your gut feeling that is not healthy for you? It's a pattern that you see, and you have those spidey senses. You have those, physiological responses that we often ignore, right? Headaches, stomach issues, anxiety, racing thoughts. When people think about how people's nervous system makes you feel, what are you ignoring in your environment that you're like, I'm just going to see this through anyway and see what happens? And what are the negative consequences of that? What are you aware of that you're ignoring? And you really have to follow your intuition with that, to know that, to learn those lessons. And so that's what I want you to take about 5 minutes. Sit back, think. What am I not following my intuition on? How am I not following my highest self, my truest self? Trusting my judgment? Am I self-sabotaging? Am I being self-destructive by going down this path? Is it something that I'm fearful of, avoidant of? Right, so I'll give you a few minutes. Although I feel like this journal entry is pretty personal, there is one quote that I feel like, I was spitting And it was talking about, although there's a personal responsibility for our own feelings and actions and discernment of our interconnectedness with people, there is still a connectedness to others that feels like death when you lose the connection. Bars. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. And that's to say, when you love someone so much, it feels like death to lose them when they're not dead. So that is a different type of grief. All right, so if you want to go ahead and get comfortable on your mat or get seated, you can relax in a comfortable chair, or you can lay down on your yoga mat. You can gently close your eyes and get situated as we start our sound bath. I'll give you a few minutes to go ahead and get comfortable. So I did a different layout this time as well, just because I feel like I'm a grid person. That it all makes sense. All right. You want to go ahead and take a couple deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Again, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Go ahead and relax your shoulders, the muscles in your brows, tension in your face and your chin, your neck. Relax your fingers. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Meditation is a personal journey. we want to go ahead and gently come back into our awareness. I appreciate you being here with me this Sunday. Again, I'm here every Sunday. I do the Sound Bath Sundays every week at 8 p.m. live on Sundays here on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And so you're more than welcome to join our Sound Bath. We do a 10 to 15 minute journal entry reflection to start out, and then we go through with our Sound Bath for about 10 to 15 minutes as well. You asked about some of the instruments. I do have the crystal sound bowls right here, as well as the Tibetan metal bowls here. We have the cylinders here, and we have my favorite tuning forks as well here. And this is the crown chakra tuning fork at a 172.06 hertz. And so I send you all off with, again, more healing energy, more confidence in your intuition, and making good judgment, trusting yourself and in your higher power, and going through your week knowing your discernment with your decision making. Okay? Again, I will be here next week. Again, thank you for joining me. The light that is within me sees the light that is within you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening and the rest of your week. I'll be here every week. Namaste. Thank you.